really go over really quick and lay on some areas where you could potentially get long the stock. And so that's what we are looking at doing. Let me switch over here to this. No, not that. Let me switch over to this. Yeah, we've got 3 stocks that we want to just really go over really quick and lay on some air. There we go. Let's quiet that guy down. So, okay, everybody, want to say welcome to everybody. Aloha. And let me start the recording. So good day, everybody. This is Dennis Wilborn, founder of Active Trend Trading. Welcome to How to Make Money Trading Stocks, the live session we do every week on Friday. As I was saying earlier, I've been doing this Friday webinar for, gosh, it's going on 7 or 8 years now, and I may be looking at mixing things up a little bit in the near future and going with a shorter version, but maybe doing it on Tuesday and Thursday. I don't know if I'll go live on that or if I will basically just make it a recording. If you have a suggestion, if you want to say, hey, yeah, Dennis, go live, and I will probably do it in the last half hour of the market on Tuesday or Thursday, or the first half hour after the market close. If that sounds like something you might be interested in joining on a live basis, please just, please put a response in the chat box. And also, if you're joining us on YouTube, put something in the comments as you like the information. So what are we looking at? Gosh, the market is basically, if I was best to define the market, I would call it squishy, simply because it's a reminder that what we do is for training purposes. Here's what we're doing, and I'm still pleased with where we're at for the year. We're up 53% for the year, and we're continuing to move forward. So again, please put a comment in the chat box if that Tuesday or Thursday live session would be something you might be interested in. And so here's where we're sitting. Hey, let's jump right over. Let's jump into specifically, here's what I'm looking at. Basically, of course, our objective remains the same, is to provide top-notch market analysis, timely actual intel that clarifies, simplifies, and so that you can multiply your profits, minimize your risk. My market overview is basically volatility and wide swings prevail. We're seeing a lot of that today. With David was just sharing how he benefited from some where he'd sold some short calls against a long call position, and it really worked out well for him last night as the market gapped down. So it's while the volatility and wide swings prevail, there still is a gradual drift upwards. Now, that's something that we can always notice on the markets. The markets tend, when left to their own devices, to have a slight drift in the positive direction. That's why normally during holiday seasons, when the institutions go on vacation, all that kind of stuff, you will notice that price actions tend to move up because I guess we're eternal optimists and we expect, good things to happen with our portfolios, and that's why things tend to move up. Then we've got some stock picks from Steve. Again, I think some of you have joined, and in the description on the YouTube channel, I have a description for this wonderful journal that was developed by my son Brandon, and it's been one of those top-selling journals on Amazon. Very proud of his work there. So let's go ahead and let's jump into the charts. That's what we wanted to. That's what we came for. So I'm going to start here with the. I'm going to highlight a couple of things, and then you can take it from there as you will. Okay. As I take a big sigh. So what we're seeing is basically we've pulled down to a past support. Now we're pushing back up. We got back up into a strong level of resistance. Look to your left. There it is. That's where sellers came in before. And guess what? sellers were still there, basically acting like highway bandits to say, aha, price got back up to where I bought it before, and they jumped on it to knock it down. What happens next will be very interesting. As you can see, we are pushing prices back down. However, prices are staying above what? The 50, the 8, and the 20-day moving average, and the 34s in there somewhere. But so we have a very tight wrap of moving averages there to basically gauge our trades off of. If the support holds where it's at right now at 331, we can anticipate a break back up to the upside. However, on a weekly chart, TSI starting to turn up, hasn't flipped up totally. The market forecast momentum is still pointing down, which is basically saying, hey, don't rush right in. Make sure you've got a really great setup in order to get into the potential trades. As we see today, what happened today? Well, we go over here to the NASDAQ. So that's what I've got for the S&P. If I was going to trade any of the indexes, I prefer trading the Qs and the leverage ETFs that go along with them and the IWM. Look what, slightly different picture here on the Qs. Same aspect with regards to coming up and taking out this swing high there, but then that was a fake breakout and we flip back down. We're holding the 50-day moving average. We'll see if that continues to be the place, stay in place. But as you can see, a little bit of a hanging man type doji here. Then basically price actions just dump. Where did prices open on the Qs this morning on the NASDAQ? They opened all the way down here right against the moving averages. So that basically, it sold off a little bit more, caught its breath, rebounded back up to yesterday's body, and then has reversed back down off of that. Overall, from a purely one-day action, I would have to say that this selling here is a negative for the market. When I say that, I'll put the caveat on it that, yes, we have momentum swinging to the upside. And turn that on. We have a momentum on the market forecast swinging to the upside. We've got the TSI momentum also swinging upside, has not crossed back down yet, and may just be doing a squeeze. And so we'll just keep our eye on it. But as you can see, this is wide and loose. And as I said, squishy kind of market action. On the weekly chart, again, we have a nice breakup. It broke out of that resistance right there slightly, and then has fallen back down against in this case, this is the 8-period moving average, which is approximately the 50-day moving average on a daily chart. TSI, our market forecast, has not turned back up yet. And then what about IWM? IWM actually did one heck of a nice job this morning and is still doing a nice job in that it pulled all the way back down to the what? To the 8-day moving average. And now it rebounded back up, took out, the high. So in one case, okay, we would consider this a bullish candle that is engulfing the day before, but it's not a bullish engulfing pattern candle. Why? It's because a bullish engulfing only happens officially, for the proper term, at the end of a down swing down. So like on this one here, this engulfed the prior day's body. And so that's a bullish engulfing. And then we continue to push up. Yes, it's a bullish candle. It did engulf yesterday's candle, but it's not a bullish engulfing. One can also look at this and say, well, yeah, it's bullish, but what's happening? This is an outside day after a price action had moved up. Oftentimes those outside days are a predictor that, hey, prices may pull back a little bit more. Everything is in gear, though, on the IWM and the Russell. If these moving averages hold, that's an indicator that, and they're all starting to point in the right direction, get in gear, back up to the upside. If they hold, and I like IWM at about 150, 151, if it holds there, and that's where we may get our bounce to break through this little downtrend trending line and move on up, back up to the highs for the rest of the year, and maybe even higher. So anyway, Steve, that's all I've got on the indexes. Yeah, basically, it's kind of a mixed bag. It is kind of nice to see that. Russell is, coming back in and trying to, put on some strength. And oftentimes, hey, Russell leads the way on the initial, upswing. So
Right.
what do you think, man?
I agree with you pretty much completely. I think we're not out of the woods. It's looking bullish, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah.
And a few things are setting up, so I tend to take them, but with
Okay.
tight stops. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of setups, let's go ahead. That was a good lead-in for a setup.
Yeah.
There we go. This is one of the stocks you sent for me. This has been on my watch list also. And this is Vive, and Vive is, what are they? It's Viva Systems.
It's really high on the IBD 50.
Yep.
It's holding it's trending nicely, riding the 50 MA currently.
Okay.
It's got a nice price action today. I'd be looking for an entry today or Monday sometime.
Okay. Where would you, on Monday, where would you enter it at?
Oh, as long as we do not make a lower low, I would enter on Monday. Somewhere intra-bar today.
Okay, so somewhere in the middle.
Right under today's low. I would expect around a mid-level entry on Monday.
So about there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's excellent. Yeah, I agree with that because it's respecting the 50-day moving average. When you get price actions that respects a particular moving average, you can use that moving average to basically measure your stop loss, which is excellent. So, and on this particular one, if I take a midsection, just a midsection shot there, hope I can do this. Yeah, I can. And just below the 50, you're talking about a stop loss that's going to be less than 3%. So yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. The other one, Steve, is WST.
I don't like it quite as much, but I think it's also holding the moving averages.
Yeah.
And as long as we don't weaken, I think an entry on Monday would be ideal. Yeah.
Okay. Now, where on this one would you put your stop? Because I mean, here's the swing low.
Right under today's low. Right under today's low.
Right under today's low. Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, because from where it's at right now down to, and even if you went down to the past swing low, you're talking still less than 5%.
Correct.
So good job. I like them. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but you're not going to, why aren't you going to enter today?
Because the market is weak today. Although it gapped down to open, and it's showing some strength, but I don't like the action in today's market. I don't like the fact that we've got a high nearby that we've not taken out. So I'm not so confident to trade yet.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and and guys, I want to highlight that's a very admirable characteristic of how Steve does trade. He basically trades aggressively with caution.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I mean, yeah. In other words, you're going to say, because that that stuff happens on the weekend that we are totally in control over. So if you have a chance sometimes to look at something on a Saturday, I will sell options on, Friday, simply because, that we've got some time issues working for us and all that kind of stuff. However, I'm going to be very careful about actually buying into a particular stock on a Friday, especially when the market is showing that it's mixed like it is today. We've got one index up and two indexes down. So now here's the extra bonus. This is one of the ones that I have been following our trend trading folks and our top 5 autopilot trade members are actually should be in this trade. We got into it down here at about 32 bucks or, so $33. It's bounced on up. What it's done, I just want to keep, just give you an idea of where I'm looking at doing with this is right here. We had a breakout right here. And so I can take that number and it's sitting right on top of the breakout. Now it may in fact pull back down into the 820 moving average level, but like Steve indicated earlier, it's got a very nice uptrend. It's respecting both the 50 longer term, but up here in the earlier uptrend, it was respecting the what? The 20-day moving average. And look what's going on down here. Really nice buying volume, above average buying volume as it pushed on up higher. And so from, depending on where you want to get into it, if I got into it here, oops, stop that. If I got into it approximately where it's at, I'm going to basically put out a trade to buy it somewhere in between the 820 or even the 8-day moving average.
I like that.
So if we got into it there, and if, well, how far, well, come on, Dennis. There we go, get us an idea. Okay, that's about 7% above the, and it's about 10% above the swing low. So I wouldn't let it go that far. I would do a reduced size trade, or I may just say, hey, where's 5% and see how that works out and just take the 5% for my stop loss to make sure that
I like that trade.
So anyway, yeah, so anyway, you guys got a 3 for today. So I hope that works for you. If you have any comments, please, again, just leave them in the, thanks, Steve. I like to trade too. And what I'll be looking at doing, since we already have part of a position in this, I would be looking at filling out the rest of my position. So I'd have a full position in DAR. So let's get on and roll through the rest of the day. So remember, focus on the process. The profits will follow. One of the things that has always, come to light with me as I've, studied the markets and gotten very proficient and become a master trader is that if a person will learn how to manage their losses, the profits will take care of themselves. That's what this game is about. And so today's question is very simple. How many positions, and please just put this in the chat box, how many positions do you have open at one time on average? Is it 1, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20? And if you're watching on YouTube, please let's lay that down in the back. What am I trying to say? Down in the description side, make a comment. So Steve, 8 to 12, cool. 8, 3, 3. Okay, I love it. And so remember, if you're joining us on YouTube, please subscribe, hit the bell to be notified when we do put up extra information, and be looking forward to live meetings and webinars. Oh, one thing I will say is I am doing a Zoom meeting tomorrow for the Bay Area moneymakers. If you want to join us on that, I'm going to be covering something very important. I'm going to be covering, I'm going to be doing a hack, some very, secret hacks on what? On the market forecast and how to use it better. So if you want to know how to you can RSVP and pay dues there at that website. And so I'm going to be doing a hack on the, like I said, on the market forecast, that indicator that I use in all my charts. And it is a very powerful indicator for predicting market reversals. So let's see, if you're just looking for something really simple to follow, hey, switch on your autopilot and just join us for the Power Elite top 5 autopilot trading system. It's about $19.99 per month, but you get weekly 5 stocks that are ready to rock and roll. I know some of you are already doing this, and hopefully you're getting some, you're basically trading along with us as a parallel trade and are showing some really nice profits. You can find this at right here, activetrendtrading.com, top 5. And also there'll be a link in the descriptions on YouTube and also on the, when I send out the video. And last but not least, that's it for today. We tried to keep it, how we do, Steve? We kept it at 20 minutes, right on the nose. Steve, thanks for the 2 stocks that you brought in.
Okay.
I want to remind everybody, hey, from our home to yours, aloha. Trade well, prosper, keep sharpening the saw, get better, better, better at trading. And if you are, like I said, if you have not joined us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel. And then also a next video will be coming up there. So until next time, hey, have an awesome day. Aloha. God bless everybody. Thanks, Steve.
Take care.